In the quiet town of Hanover, New Hampshire, a doctor once promised he could conquer death. They called him Doc Benton. But what he left behind were graveyards torn open, animal founds with strange marks, and a trail of footprints that ended at a cliff. On Mount Moosilauke, the story says he still walks, a dark figure in the fog, following heavy behind you. Step too close, and you might meet the doctor who never truly died. I'm Kathy.
I'm Chris.
I'm Sean.
And this is Weirder After Dark.
Sleep paralysis fucking scares me, guys. It fucking terrifies me. I was actually reading an article a little bit earlier today about sleep paralysis and how they think that could actually be an answer to like alien abductions. People experiencing sleep paralysis and they're mistaking what occurs during that as an alien abduction story or ghost story or anything like that.
We got into that a little bit in the Missing Time episode. Yeah. And sleep paralysis was one of the reasons, but remember, nobody in that episode was asleep at the time. Yeah.
Well, this is like a doctor who is, Chris, I think you actually read a book by this guy, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh, Matthew Walker.
Yeah. So he is the one who's coming out with these studies and basically saying that like it's this state where you are fully conscious, but your body is still in like some level of REM sleep and fully paralyzed. So you can't move your legs, you can't move your arms, but you can see. And while they're in this moment, oftentimes, people are claiming that there are beings in the room with them. There's pressure pushing down on their chest. And all I got to say to that is, fuck no. Like, that is terrifying.
Is there beings in the room because they're in a deep sleep? Or is there beings in the room because they only come when you're in a deep sleep, Sean?
No, I don't like this. Well, this doctor is claiming that they are manifestations from their internal world coming out, which thank fucking God that might be the answer to this, because I don't like what you just suggested, Chris. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that's scary.
Dr. Walker, he's, I think, the leading psychiatrist and psychologist on sleep and neurologist on sleep. He's known worldwide.
Well, if he's giving us a reason why alien abductions might not be real, I'm taking it and doing no more further research. Because fuck alien abductions. I don't want to experience that. Have either of you experienced waking up while on anesthesia? Kathy's giving me this weird look.
I've never been on anesthesia, but that sounds horrifying. You're in the middle of a surgery and you all of a sudden wake up.
And yeah, you wake up and you're in fucking Saw.
Oh my God.
Like, no.
No, I had it when I had knee surgery. I had knee surgery
Fuck
on my
no.
on my right.
And you woke up?
I woke up in the middle of my surgery. I woke up. I remember.
Did you look at the knee?
No,
I'm gonna vomit.
They put you on the table and they do strap your arms down, kind of like in like a in like a crucifix. It's so like if you do wake up, like your first instinct is to like some people could like panic and try to rip like IVs and stuff out. So they
that's
literally like
it's
a
not
cross.
Some weird ritual.
It was literally like a cross, and they had my arms down. I had like IVs going in my arm, and going under. It was nice and easy. It was okay. We're going in. The nurses were great. Count back to 10. They put the mask on. I don't even think I hit like 7. I was fucking out. But halfway through the surgery, all of a sudden I came to, and my eyes were just awake, and I saw the sheet. They had a sheet up, so I couldn't see my knee.
Oh my God.
And I just heard the nurse kind of be like, "Oh, we have a visitor. Someone decided to join us." And then I felt her hand like on my shoulder, and she was just like, "It's okay." Next thing I knew, I was immediately back out. It probably lasted 2 seconds.
And you remember it though?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
Did you see any pentagrams or guys dressed up like goats?
No, and I didn't, and it wasn't scary. It wasn't like, if anything, it was just sort of like I was just waking up from a nap, and I was just kind of like, I was just there, and it was just sort of happening, and then I was just immediately back out.
Could you feel anything?
No.
Smell anything? Sense? No, just
no.
conscious.
I just remember seeing it. It was just like the room was really bright. I remember the sheet. I couldn't see what was happening. The nurse was on my right side, and then I was gone.
I am so skeptical about so many things, as you both know, but that is a real horror story right there. Like, no, if I ever need surgery, like, I don't know, if I wake up, just put me down.
Yeah, no, it was, and it was really quick. It was really quick. It probably feels like it was longer than it actually was. Yeah. And like I said, I didn't have any pain. I didn't have any discomfort. I wasn't scared.
I need some type of positive spin. At least they weren't doing weird shit. They're just like,
no,
you're here. This is great.
They were fixing
Go back to sleep, child.
It's
Like, that's kind of
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
We're just having
okay.
drinks and cheese and crackers. It's,
Yeah.
we're having a little party here.
We were making $9,000 an hour right now. Go back to sleep, bitch.
But I do today have a story not about aliens, but about a doctor.
Ooh,
All
okay,
right.
segue.
Ties in.
So
All
yeah,
right.
and it takes place back in the early 1800s.
An evil doctor?
Maybe a doctor who started out on the right path and took a different turn. And
They always start on the right path.
it's the month of October, so we're gonna tell a little spooky, scary
Did
story.
they
Fucking
commit
love it.
insurance fraud? Please tell me it's insurance fraud.
No insurance fraud.
All right, I'm buckling in.
All right,
I'm ready.
we ready?
Let's go.
On a cold October night in Hanover, New Hampshire, the campus of Dartmouth College looks peaceful. The quiet college buildings glow under the lamps. The green is quiet, with autumn leaves falling down on the pathways as the gentle wind swirls all around. It looks like a place where nothing bad could ever happen. But Dartmouth has a story, a dark one, and it begins with a man who never seemed to die. They call him Doc Benton.
I love this setup. This is perfect for
Yeah.
the mood.
In the early 1800s, medicine was rough. There was no anesthesia, no antibiotics, no way to fight infection. Surgeons would work with bone saws while their patients were still awake, having to listen to them as they screamed on the table. And as for the students at Dartmouth Medical School, they needed cadavers, bodies to cut, to practice on. Bodies were hard to get, so they stole them. Fresh graves were dug up, and families would find coffins broken, dirt scattered, and their loved ones gone.
This isn't a big mystery. You know exactly where they're going, right? It's got to be the college.
Some believe the people of Hanover knew, they just didn't want to talk about it. Either way, out in this world came a young man named Thomas Benton. Doc Benton was smart. Some might say too smart. He was considered a prodigy from Warren, New Hampshire. He studied hard, traveled far, and even went to Germany for advanced training. Then tragedy struck. Smallpox swept through his town, a disease that killed many. And sadly, it claimed the lives of his entire family.
Oh, that's so sad.
In a short period of time, his wife and children were gone.
That's terrible. I'm calling bullshit right here because have you ever been to Warren? There's no way he's a genius coming from Warren, New Hampshire. Let's just go there.
Hey.
Let's just be honest.
After that, something inside him changed. He wasn't just a doctor anymore. He became a man obsessed with one thing: life after death, finding immortality, even trying to bring back those who may have passed.
Ooh, like a Dr. Frankenstein type vibe.
Maybe.
Oh, this is so spooky. I love it.
Having spent time in Germany under Professor Stockmeyer, who had focused his studies on alchemy in the search for eternal life, Benton spent the long, dark nights locked in his lab, the lights flickering in the windows while everyone else in town lay asleep in their beds. The students whispered. They shared stories of how they heard groans and shouts and loud, sharp cracks of electricity booming from inside his lab. This was the age of Galvanism. It was a practice of shocking dead bodies with electric current.
No. For what?
Galvanism, like trying to bring them back to life?
Yes.
So was he trying to bring his family back? Is that the goal? Does that mean they're stored someplace? Am I jumping the gun here?
I don't know that they were stored anywhere. There was nothing ever mentioned about them after they died. I think it just became sort of his obsession with trying to beat death.
Oh, it's so sad.
And a doctor in Dartmouth in the dark woods of New Hampshire, obsessed with death. This has got a spooky vibe already.
Mm.
We've had like serial killer nurses, but this is striking me as like more mad scientist, and
Oh,
I
just wait.
fucking love it.
Just wait. Because in London, doctors made corpses twitch, made their jaws drop and eyes roll. People in the crowds would faint as they watched in horror at the new world of science. In Hanover, students swore Doc Benton was doing the same. After all, he studied medicine in Europe. He would have the knowledge, the skill, and the madness. With the loss of his wife and children, it was easy for him to be pushed to do this. Some even claimed that they witnessed him making a corpse twitch and sit up.
In the 1800s in Europe, they would have shows where they would take a corpse and shock them and make the eyes roll back for a crowd. That is crazy.
So creepy too.
Yeah.
And then he could make them so just shocking dead bodies and they'll sit up and shit like that.
It shocks your heart back.
With
Yeah, I
modern
guess.
science, that makes sense. He's just activating the muscles using the electric current. They weren't
there's
actually
no
bringing him
brain
to
waves.
life. Yeah.
Or is there?
That is scary as fuck.
Yeah, that's so creepy.
The town began to grow restless. They had fresh graves disturbed. And then something far worse happened. That following winter, it was cruel. It's the kind of winter that chills you to the bones. Animals began to die, not from hunger or from predators, but each were found with a strange mark. They had a white scratch behind their ear and a small red dot on their head. But it wasn't just animals. Bodies from graves that had been dug up were found mutilated and marked with white scratches behind the ear and that same red dot on their head. No one had seen anything like this before, and no one had an explanation for what was happening in their town. But people had their suspicion. People whispered it was Doc Benton, testing, practicing. And then, one winter, Mary disappeared.
A human?
A live human.
It sounds like there's some kind of electrical shock therapy where they're behind the ear and in the middle of the forehead and they're trying to shock the brain back to life. And it wasn't working on animals, so he dug up cadavers and that wasn't working. So this girl goes missing.
You know, you can't find a volunteer. If we got to kidnap people, like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
fair.
what, $18.90? Throw $10 out there.
Yeah.
Someone will let you shock them a few times.
Mary, she was just a little girl.
Oh,
She was playing in the snow outside her home while her mother tended to the house chores inside. Her mother, taking peeks out the window to ensure Mary was still in the yard, was terrified when she looked again to find that Mary had vanished. Her mother screamed for her and she called for help. When searchers arrived, they found tracks left in the snow. Footprints crossed over what appeared to be drag marks left in the snow of Mary being dragged up the woods into the mountains. Family and neighbors followed the tracks and went as far as they could go, stopping at the base of the sheer cliff. There was no way forward, and then they looked down. Far below, on the rocks, at the bottom, they found Mary's body. When they reached her, her body was broken on the rocks. But what was even more mysterious was not just that she had been abducted, but that behind her ear was a white scratch, and on her head a red dot, the same markings that had been found on the dead animals before her.
So if I'm a scientist and I can't bring somebody back to life weeks later, maybe I can do it minutes later. So he threw her off the cliff and tried his experiment again.
missing, dragged, killed, to your point, Chris, and then probably experimented on. Oof.
This is getting dark.
Yeah.
The people of the town and Mary's family all said Benton carried her up to the cliff, where after marking her, he dropped her off to the rocky ground below to meet her fate. After Mary's death, Benton was rarely seen. Some folks said he built a shack deep on Moosilauke. Sometimes at night, hikers saw a light glow from the trees. Other times, they swore they saw Benton himself, a pale, tall man wandering the slopes as if he was hunting, carrying a doctor's bag. One Halloween, a group of boys dared each other to find his house. With their packs filled and lights in hand, the boys ventured into the woods.
Don't do that, guys. Come on, that's just like fucking asking
Yeah, the
for
woods.
trouble. That's how you die.
The woods were thick with fog, looking very different in the light of the moon than during the middle of the day. Scared, they went on, not wanting to be the one to chicken out. And eventually, they found it. A crooked cabin with lights blazing in every window. As they peered through the glass, they saw Doc Benton silently watching them as if he had been waiting, as if he knew they would be coming for him. They ran as fast as they could before he even had a chance to move. Some of the boys even swore that he followed them into their dreams.
Some Freddy Krueger shit. I see why you chose this story
yeah.
now. Yeah, you're like, I need something spooky.
This is freaky
It's always
as fuck.
scary.
This is some freaky shit.
Mm-hmm.
As the years passed, sightings continued until at last the stories say Doc Benton was found. A group set out and hiked up Moosilauke, and it was then that they found his shack. The door sagged open. Inside, the air stank of stale smoke and rot. And there, to their horror, on the floor, lay Doc Benton. His body was blackened, scorched, twisted from being set on fire by what looked to be his own machines. But what was even worse was his skin. His skin was stitched with rough seams across his arms, his chest, and even his face. It was as if he had cut himself apart and sewn himself back together. He hadn't just tried to bring others back. He tried to make himself immortal. Some say, in this moment, his eyes fluttered open, milky white, but just for a second. They buried what they found. Or maybe they didn't, no one's sure. But hikers still whisper about a figure stitched together, stiff and tall, moving through the fog. And if you listen on a silent night, you might hear the scrape of thread pulling through the skin.
Oh, vomit worthy. No, hard no. Oh,
So we're definitely doing this hike.
yeah.
At
Oh, it's a
night in
beautiful
October,
hike.
right?
Yeah.
I'm a little out now on night. During the day, beautiful hike. At
So
night,
you've
nope.
done this hike before?
Yeah. I've done this hike before. It's actually a beautiful hike, depending on where you start. One of them, I can't remember the name of the trail, but you start up going up this like gorgeous waterfall for the vast majority of it, and you're kind of just going right along it. Super pretty, really rewarding, beautiful, evil, apparently. So he was experimenting on himself, they think.
That is the story.
Oh, Oh, could you cut yourself open for funsies? Oh,
vomit. No, I could not.
This has got some Frankenstein vibes.
100%.
But he was also experimenting on himself. This is freaky.
I mean,
I see why you picked this for Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, eventually when you run out of being able to steal bodies from graves or animals, and the girl Mary was the only live victim.
Yeah.
Although, if you look up the mountain, there are stories of hikers
going missing
and dying. Is that the ghost of Doc Benton? Maybe.
As someone who does some hiking in the north, I would put my money on unprepared hikers just dying in the woods.
Probably.
But Doc Benton sounds way better. It sounds way better. So has there ever been like sightings? Is there ghost stories? Is there anything tied to this? Or do we have this like just really awesome, amazing legend?
So this is a story that started off at the Dartmouth College for first years. They would take them up to this lodge. They would do like an overnight, and they would share the story just to kind of scare the first years. There are ghost stories, people saying that they see figures in the woods, but nothing that's, ever provable.
So it's kind of a story to scare freshmen.
And then other people go up there and they say, oh, we're going to go on this hike. I've done this before. And when I was here, here's the story. And I've seen
Benton, where are you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a spooky little story.
So was Doc Benton a real doctor? Do we have any history on him at Dartmouth?
Well, if you do a Google search, Google will tell you that Doc Benton is not a real person.
He's just a legend.
He's just a legend.
But legends frequently are based off of some elements of truth. So maybe it wasn't Doc Benton, but maybe there was bodies going missing.
Yeah. Back then, doctors did have to steal corpse from graves and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that part of it is real.
I've been promising an H.H. Holmes story for 19 years at this point.
It feels like that,
Yeah. And part of his story is stealing cadavers for insurance fraud. So people are out there stealing dead bodies.
I mean, where else are you, as a medical student, are you going to learn anatomy other than a dead body? Now, you hope that somebody donates their body to science, but
that didn't happen until, I think, like the 20th century.
Okay, so
where that
they
became
had
a thing.
to buy dead bodies or go take them.
Yeah.
All right, quick question for the room. You just died. You're gone. Do you care if people experiment or take your body and do stuff?
I'm dead.
You don't care? You're dead, Chris?
Yeah, no, do whatever you want.
I mean, I'm an organ donor, so at that point, you might as well just experiment on whatever's left over.
Yeah, I'm with it. Like, hey, dude, if you can experiment on my dead body and that saves, shampoo, new conditioner. Well, I can't use shampoo conditioner on me. I was gonna say save some animal from being experimented on. Do it all. Like,
agreed.
Getting to know you, Sean, over the years, I'm assuming they're gonna want to experiment on your brain.
yeah, that's fair. Well, Kathy, what a fantastic, spooky ass story to continue our push towards October 31st. And gang, we hope that you enjoyed this story as well. And if you did, feel free to check out our Instagram. That is @WeirderAfterDark, where Kathy will go ahead and put some supporting evidence about this story. And if you are thinking to yourselves, I just wish I could hang out with Kathy, Chris, and Sean more, I got great news for you. You can't. We're out here building communities. So it's not just Instagram. You can find us over at Facebook. You can find us on Reddit. And again, the Instagram @WeirderAfterDark, where you can come talk to not just us, but other individuals who are enjoying these stories just like you. And speaking about stories, we are over here looking for your weird New England stories. So have you hiked Mount Moosilauke and saw Doc Benton inside the woods throwing a little girl off the cliff? Because if you did, report that to your local authorities. But also, if you have, we want to hear that strange story. Or if you haven't seen that, if you've been, walking through a local graveyard and see people digging up bodies and trying to sell them, again, report that, please, to your fucking local authorities.
Report that first, and then send us the video.
And then send us the fucking story, because that's so creepy.
And I really want somebody who's been abducted by an alien, please call us.
Yes. Or if you don't have anything like that and it's just your local New England spooky tale of ghosts, cryptids, whatever it is, send any of these stories after talking to the police to thegang@weirderafterdark.com, and we'll feature it in an upcoming episode. And don't forget, if you are loving this shit, if you're fucking absolutely in love with this shit, the best thing you can do to help us out is to go ahead and leave a 5-star review wherever it is that you are listening. And a lovely little note that says something like, gosh, I just love Kathy, Chris, and Sean. They're just amazing. Something like that. And don't forget, it always gets a little weirder after dark.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.